What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The Seattle Seahawks offense is probably going to be top 5 this year. They're going to be elite across the board. I want to break down their offense a little bit, dive into it, because honestly, I think the Seahawks could be really, really good on the defensive side of the ball too. But in this video, we're going to focus on the offense. All right. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But I do have 2 questions for you guys. Question number 1, where do you rank the Seattle Seahawks offense heading into this coming NFL season? Let me know in the comments. I got them in the top 5. And then who are you most excited for on this Seattle Seahawks offense this year? I think there's a lot of different guys you can pick from, but I'll give my answers a little bit later into the video. Let's just jump into it now. If you look at it, their offense is absolutely loaded across the board, and they're loaded with a lot of young talent too. So it's not a lot of, guys exactly all in their prime. They have a lot of good young players who haven't even touched their prime yet. You got guys like Kenneth Walker III, who was awesome last year as a rookie. There's Tyler Lockett, who's always been a solid, just underrated, exceptional receiver. You got that monster in DK Metcalf. We all know how good he can be. And then they drafted Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Even Noah Fant's a solid tight end option. Charles Cross as your franchise left tackle. The whole offensive line is under 27 years old, and they're a pretty solid group. It's crazy. They got a lot going on in Seattle. And I didn't even mention that they had a Pro Bowl quarterback in Geno Smith last year who really, honestly shocked the NFL. No one thought he was going to be what he was last year, and he came out and he played amazing pretty much every game and led them into the playoffs when no one thought they were going to get there. People thought they were going to be a 2 or 3 win team, and they ended up exceeding all expectations. I expect them to continue what they did last year and improve upon it this year. Think there is a universe where after this season we're looking at Geno Smith as a solidified top 10 to 12 quarterback across the NFL, and that's crazy when you look at his career trajectory. But sometimes it's about fit, scheme, location. Sometimes everything's just got to go right for a guy, and it looks like it's gone right for Geno Smith up until now. So can't wait to see what he looks like in another year in the Seattle Seahawks offense, but with even better weapons, with even more experience, and just the cohesiveness, right? You look at the running backs, right? Kenneth Walker III was exceptional last year. Over 1,000 yards rushing, and he really didn't even start playing much until week 5. So the first 4 games or so, he was kind of splitting reps. He had 5 games over 100 rushing yards. He did have some games where it was 10 and 20 yards, kind of some duds. Here and there, I think there was 3 or 4 of those. But I think as a rookie running back, being successful early is really, really hard. And he was successful for the most part. Now you're going into year 2. You get that NFL offseason. You kind of know what you're expecting. And you're going to get a bigger workload now. Expect him to be 1,200 plus yards rushing. I will be shocked if he doesn't do that. Saying he's healthy and everything. But the real juice on this offense, outside of Geno and K9, we know those guys are good and going to be good, whatever. The receiving core is, you don't hear of them talked about as a top receiving core, but after this season, you're going to hear it a lot. DK Metcalf, that's a top 10 receiver. Tyler Lockett, I already talked about him just a little bit. One of the most consistent, reliable receivers, can play the slot, can play outside. And then they added to it, they drafted Jaxon Smith-Njigba, JSN, to make it easier. And Jaxon Smith-Njigba is a dog. This is a guy in college that had a bowl game with 15 catches and 347 yards. That's astronomical numbers. Yes, it is college, and take it with a grain of salt. But the dude can play inside, he can play outside. He's a lot like Tyler Lockett, ironically. Really great hands, never drops a pass for the most part. He's coming into the league, he's going to be one of the best route runners. That is what his game is. He is a route running maestro, and he's going to get himself open. He's going to move the chains a lot. He's going to be a guy you see them looking at a lot on third down. You're going to see a lot of conversions out of Jaxon Smith-Njigba just because that route running is crisp. And when you look at what adding him to the offense does, it takes the pressure off of Kenneth Walker. They can't load the box as much. It takes the pressure off of DK because the safeties have to worry about somebody else in the slot or on the outside. It takes the pressure off of Lockett because there's just all these other guys now don't have as many eyes on them. So everything's a little bit easier on Geno because he's going to be able to, he's going to have JSN going up against cornerback 3s, 4s, and 5s, or DK is going to get matched up against him. There's going to be mismatches somewhere on the field. And last year, they had, 2 receivers really that were legit threats. And then Fant was kind of a safety valve, kind of a decent third option. But ultimately now you have a real legit weapon that's out there that's going to be able to make plays any given snap. So if you can't tell, the guys I'm probably most excited for is K9 and JSN. I think those two guys, you got K9 going into year 2, JSN rookie year coming, he fell in the draft. He would have been a top 10 pick if he didn't get hurt last year in college. Easily would have been that. But, now he's healthy. He's good. He's good to go. I'm excited for those two the most. I don't know which one I'm excited for more because I love JSN in college. I thought I wanted the Chargers to draft him. 1 pick ahead of me. So thanks, Seahawks, for taking my dream away. But, he's going to be great. And then Kenneth Walker, year 2 running backs, we see those jumps. I expect no less from him. Those are 2 guys I'm expected the most out of, and I think are going to be the most fun to watch. In the comments, as I mentioned earlier, let me know who you're most excited to watch. It could be Geno. It could be freaking Noah Fant. If you like O-line play, it could be Charles Cross, who was awesome as a rookie. And if you look at the O-line, too, their O-line was pretty solid last year. They kept Geno on his feet for the most part. They opened up running lanes, and they're all young, so they're just getting better and better and better. And they kind of, they drafted great with the left tackle because that's the most important spot to draft at when your quarterback is obviously a right-hander like Geno is. So now your quarterback's blind side is protected for the next 15 years, right? So you did that. You have a young, cohesive unit that's playing together. They should be legitimately one of the best offenses in the entire NFL. They should be top 5. If they're anywhere lower than top 5, I think that's a little bit of a letdown, to be completely honest, because they got so much talent and they're so young. Like, they got speed, strength. They got it all. They have it all at every different level. They got deep route runners. They got the intermediate route runners. They got the short gains. They got a decent tight end and Fant. All over the field. They're just weapons. And the crazy thing is that their offense is expected to be great, in my opinion. And I'm not going to talk about the defense individually in this video, but the defense could be elite as well. This is a team that could very well win the NFC West. The Niners are going to be really solid. We know that. The Rams, who knows? They're kind of lacking depth. The Cardinals, everybody's kind of thinking they might be one of the worst teams in the league this year, just depending on Kyler himself. But the Seahawks could easily, just looking at them on paper and everything, could be an 11-12 win team, for sure. But I'm just really excited to watch them play this year. They're going to be one of the most fun offenses to watch. It's going to be high-flying. It's going to be highly explosive. There's going to be explosive plays pretty much every half with them. It's going to be great as long as everybody stays healthy, which we always wish good health upon these guys. But I'm excited. Let me know in the comments how excited you are for the Seahawks season. I think they should be awesome. I think it should be a lot of fun. And this is for a team that really had no expectations last year. Now they're kind of on the map a little bit, in my opinion. So we'll see how they react to people kind of taking them a little bit more serious, I think. So I think we'll see that a little bit, but I think they're up for the challenge. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But the Seattle Seahawks offense is going to be top 5. All right, I'm done. Peace.